You know, I just realized, have I really gone this entire year without doing a single Turkish knockoff movie? I mean, usually I do a couple of these things a year. It really helps keep you on your toes when you have to just kind of guess what the hell is happening on screen. Up until now, I've mainly concentrated on Turkish superhero movies, but it's important to remember that the world of Turkish knockoff cinema goes way beyond just Spider-Man busting a nut while puppets watch. There's things like Turkish Star Trek, Turkish Wizard of Oz, Turkish Rambo, the list goes on and on. Well, you know what? There's a new Star Wars movie coming out, which means it's about time I got to perhaps the most infamous Turkish knockoff of them all. I would do a fake Star Wars text crawl for the intro, but, I got in trouble the last time I did that, so let's just go to the title card. Dünyayı Kurtaran Adam is a 1982 Turkish science fiction movie whose title roughly translates to The Man Who Saved the World. But most people don't call it that. Instead, the movie's more widely known by the title of Turkish Star Wars because, well, you can see why. While a lot of Turkish knockoffs take things like the plotline, costumes, or music from other movies, this one goes a step further by actually incorporating footage from the first Star Wars film into the movie itself, which helped it to become the first widely known Turkish mockbuster outside that country. In fact, this movie's almost single-handedly responsible for starting the whole trend of naming a movie by taking the word Turkish, followed by whatever it's knocking off. I mean, it was the first Turkish knockoff I was ever aware of. I can remember seeing clips of it in the pre-YouTube days and wondering how in the hell something like this could possibly even exist. I was so naive back then. In addition to the movie's reputation on the internet, film historian and Turkish cinema connoisseur Ed Glazer also managed to find a 35mm print of the movie with the intention of fully restoring it and eventually releasing it on DVD and Blu-ray. Well, that Blu-ray may not be out yet, but hey, compared to most of the Turkish movies I do on this show, my copy of the movie looks downright HD. At least this movie knows where its priorities are by whizzing right past the title and getting to the fact that it stars Turkish action hero Cüneyt Arkın in the lead role. Seriously, he is the only guy who could make this pose and still keep his dignity. And how about that opening music? I gotta say, not Turkish John Williams' best work. It'll be interesting to see if Disney ends up buying the company behind this movie. I'm curious how they'd market something called Cunt Films. So right away, the movie shows us that George Lucas is the one who deserves credit for faking the moon landing, and not Stanley Kubrick. Who knew NASA was really part of the Rebel Alliance this whole time? As you can see, the first several minutes of the movie uses lots of footage from Star Wars, although because they're all from different parts of the movie, I'm not sure how they're supposed to fit together. What exactly is going on here?
Bazı gezegenlerde hayat devam etmekte, yaşam sürmekteydi. Ama nükleer savaş çok hızlanmıştı.
You know, between the narration and the way the clips are randomly edited together, so far this seems more like a Turkish internet review of Star Wars than an actual movie. And if you can't afford a green screen, just project the movie on a wall behind you. Nobody'll be able to tell the difference. Meanwhile, in Turkish Star Crash, I don't know who this guy is, but he really seems to enjoy watching Star Wars. Not sure why he's doing it through a keyhole, though. So I'm assuming these two are our heroes for the movie. Who are they exactly?
İyi bir atış. Aferin.
Oh, god damn it. Jeez, we're not even 10 minutes in and it looks like they're already trying to blow up the Death Star. Ever heard of pacing yourself? I'd say they were close to defeating the villain if I thought this guy had anything to do with the rest of the movie. So, who is this supposed to be?
Gene elimden kurtuldun dünya. Bir daha seni hiçbir kuvvet kurtaramayacak.
Oh, you think I'm kidding about this guy being Ming?
O zaman uzayda en güçlü ben olacağım.
I didn't add that. This movie takes stuff from Star Wars and Flash Gordon. In fact, you know what? For the rest of the video, I'm just gonna call this guy Ming. After all, he looks more like Ming than the guy from Turkish Flash Gordon did. Anyway, the two guys playing the Star Wars VR game earlier end up crashing on a planet, and it looks like they're either about to be captured by Jawas or eaten by Wile E. Coyote. And I'm starting to think that instead of Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, these two are stand-ins for another Star Wars character.
And don't you call me a mindless philosopher, you overweight glob of grease.
Before long, they end up getting attacked by a Turkish-Italian exploitation movie, but they didn't count on messing with Cüneyt Arkın. Not only does he have the fighting skills to beat these guys, but the editor is on his side too. I can't tell if these guys are supposed to be stormtroopers or L from Star Crash. Well, it would make sense if they were L. After all, he is on one of the posters for the movie.
Ama acayip şeyler. Herhalde dünyadaki sevgililerin değil.
Well, looks like our heroes just got captured by Turkish the Humongous. I really wish this movie would pick a sci-fi franchise to knock off and stick with it. In any case, here's some child abuse. Oh, damn it, robot! You're supposed to warn Turkish Will Robinson of danger, not put him in it. At least our heroes make some effort to actually interact with the story. I'm still convinced the villains are just sitting at home watching the movie. Looks like these two are in trouble, but wait a second, who's this? Ah, looks like those two are gonna get some action. They get patched up by Turkish Valeria from Conan the Barbarian here, and do I sense some romance blossoming? Well, you know what they say, if a woman doesn't seem interested at first, just keep giving her your best rape face. In addition to medical attention, they also get some new clothes from Turkish Christopher Plummer.
Ama onların medeniyeti bizimkinden çok daha üstünmüş. Ve onlar bu medeniyeti, tekniği birbirlerini yok etmek için değil.
Uh-oh, looks like they just wandered into a Turkish version of The Mummy. Hopefully they're not trying to create a Turkish dark universe, because that is not going to end well. Well, looks like we can't save all these kids from being murdered, so might as well get the hell out of here. And this brings us to the most famous part of the movie, where Cüneyt Arkın has a training montage where he karate chops rocks. Hey, he didn't get that dad bod by doing nothing, you know. And if you thought the music choices were weird before... I guess using music from Indiana Jones fits. Now if you want some music that doesn't fit... Congratulations, Cüneyt, you just broke every bone in your body, which I guess means you're ready to take on the bad guys. However, I think not Princess Leia is jealous of Cüneyt's budding romance with this little boy. Oh, I'm just kidding. His heart only belongs to her. I'm assuming.
Geri döneceğim.
Now that their training is out of the way, these two are off to Turkish Comic-Con. If they're lucky, maybe they can get a photo with Turkish Jessica Negri. While having a drink at Not Isley, a fight breaks out and our heroes end up getting sucked into a brawl involving the cast of Yo Gabba Gabba, as well as some aliens that I'm pretty sure are from a planet made exclusively of ethnic stereotypes. You know, say what you want about this scene, but so far this is all less stupid than Greedo firing first. Unfortunately, shortly after Ming shows up, the movie's color budget runs out and they're forced to shoot the rest of this scene through a Virtual Boy. I don't know what exactly is happening here, but Cüneyt looks like he just got told the woman he kissed earlier is really his sister.
Bu nazik daveti kabul etmezse kaybolur.
Our heroes may have been captured, but at least Ming gave him some new clothes. And good news for this other guy, while Cüneyt gets taken to see Ming, he gets to see Turkish Princess Aura. Everybody knows she was always way hotter than Dale Arden anyway. So after Ming shows off his cardboard cutout supercomputer, he also shows Cüneyt his most prized possession, a gold-plated brain?
Bir de sizin beyinlerinizi aldım mı zaman gösterecek.
Ming's also captured Not Leia, but he's crazy if he thinks Cüneyt's just gonna stand there and do nothing. He didn't spend an entire afternoon punching rocks to not beat people up, you know. Although, I'm not sure about the subtitles on this copy of the movie. Okay, admittedly my Turkish isn't great, but I don't think that was right. And forget Wookiees ripping your arm out of its socket when they lose. Junette Arkin will do that to you even when he's winning. Looks like he's got this situation handled. How's the other guy doing? Damn, cock-blocked by Muppets. It's my prom night all over again. He goes to help Junette, although honestly, I don't think he needs it.
Çok gürültü yaptın. Kadının kocaları geldi. Hayret, kadınları bırakıp da nasıl geldin?
The fight eventually ends after the editor has a seizure, which incapacitates our heroes and also leads to their funeral? The hell? It's okay though, they escape after realizing the villains just put a thin layer of dirt on them.
Kendilerine güvenlerini kaybedince beyinleri tam istediğim hale gelecek.
So far nothing the villains have done has been able to kill our heroes, probably because they haven't tried just shooting them. So maybe having Junette fight whatever the hell this thing is will work. I don't know. I think the scene would be a lot better if it was Hayden Christensen fighting some CGI Flintstones monsters. Junette, of course, wins, which apparently means he gets to leave while the other guy is still Ming's prisoner. Well, sucks to be him. Listen, just keep running, Junette. I'm sure the plot's gotta be around here somewhere. Oh shit, he just got ambushed by a fight scene. I don't know if these guys have anything to do with Ming, and frankly, at this point, I don't really care. Damn, too bad there isn't more Indiana Jones music playing, or Junette could just shoot this guy right now. In addition to fight scenes, always be sure to show off your real-life locations as much as possible in order to get your movie to feature length. And since they didn't have the budget for a lightsaber in this movie, I guess this lightning bolt from an elementary school play will just have to do instead. So, is this still supposed to be a Star Wars knockoff? Is that still what we're doing here? Not only am I not sure what movie they're trying to knock off, but apparently this guy is evil now? I guess that makes sense. After all, he does kind of look like a Turkish version of Ricardo Montalban. Could this movie get any weirder? Okay, fine, whatever.
Sihirbazın bir hilesi arkadaşının beynini alacaktır şimdi.
Sihirbaz asıl benim peşimde. Onu fazla bekletmek istemem.
Oh, and I guess this guy isn't actually evil. He's just being turned into Turkish Frankenstein or something. Anyways, regarding the sword Junette just got, it looks like it gives him the ability to win fights easily, so basically it does nothing. Anyways, he better hurry up and rescue his friend. Oh, damn it, Junette! The producer's kid spent all night making that prop! You'd think this guy would be grateful he just got rescued, but he seems to be suffering from a serious case of sword envy.
Akıllı olsaydın şampanya ve kadından hoşlanırdın. Korkarım gücün de yakışıklılığın gibi başına iş açacak. Ben neyi seçeceğim biliyorum. Ver kılıcı!
Alright, he's got the sword. Now to tweak Junette's nipples a little bit and then leave. Maybe Christopher Plummer will buy this thing from him.
Bu iki gücü birleştirmenin sırrını bana öğret. Başaracaksın evlat. Bunların sırrı...
Oh, and turns out Christopher Plummer is really Ming, or Ming was impersonating him? I don't know. The point is, the mystical arts and crafts sword is now his. Hopefully Junette gets here quick. Hey, when you're the hero of the movie, I figure your theme song's allowed to interrupt the soundtrack. Even if it technically isn't your theme song. Great, not only is the Virtual Boy cinematography back, but I think Christopher Plummer's a ghost now. And just in case you thought this movie couldn't get any more inexplicable... I can't tell if that was supposed to happen or if there was an accident on set and they just decided to keep it in the movie. No need to worry though, he's only sorta dead.
Galiba ben dönemeyeceğim. Bana ölüyorum numarası yapma.
Look, Junette, I know you're sad your friend died, but I don't see how melting the sword down and burning your hands off is gonna help things. Okay, actually he uses the sword to make a pair of gloves, but unfortunately they aren't as awesome as the ones he had in Lion Man. So now we get to our final battle, but because they already showed the attack on the Death Star at the beginning, we'll have to settle for more of Junette Arkin jumping on trampolines and beating people up. Damn, Junette's so fired up even Ming's awkward editing powers aren't enough to stop him. Also, I may have jumped the gun by saying they couldn't use more Star Wars footage. So did they just blow up the movie? Oh, never mind. Looks like everyone's still here. Guess they must have blown up some other planet. Ever wish Star Wars had a bunch of random scenes of Junette Arkin karate chopping Teletubbies in half inserted into it? Well, then you wish for some really weird shit. Good God, the editing is getting so crazy it feels like I'm watching a Turkish YouTube poop video. It's like this movie was edited with a blender. Oh well, at least I get to do this gag. Decapitation! Sweet Jesus, this movie should have been called The Man Who Saves the World by Punching People to Death. He's like a one-man Death Star. Is he gonna have to beat up every single person on this planet? Cause that's what it looks like. For the love of God, Junette, hurry up and kill Ming so we can get this over with. After he uses his best Three Stooges moves on Ming, Junette finally kills him by karate chopping him in half. Or maybe he just cut the camera in half. That's kinda what it looks like. Just like how I've now been chopped in half. Don't you totally believe that I've been chopped in half? Junette then caused an earthquake which completely devastated the planet and killed several innocent people. Whatever, not his problem. He doesn't even stay to be with his love interest. He just catches the next stock footage ship out of town and rides off into the sun. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant sun. So there you have it, quite possibly the most infamous foreign knockoff ever made. So does it deserve its reputation? Well, depending on how you look at it, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it has pretty much everything you'd expect from this kind of movie. Shameless use of stock footage, awkward editing, music that abruptly cuts out during scene changes, a plot that probably wouldn't make sense even if I could understand the language. Basically, if you want a perfect encapsulation of what Turkish remake-exploitation cinema is like, this is pretty much it. Recommending a movie like this is always tricky, but if you're someone with a taste for truly what-the-fuck cinema, you should probably see this at least once. In my opinion, though, subtitles are optional. Well, that's all for now, but the Turkish saga continues, because believe it or not, there's a sequel.